Planet Dolan.
From playing show and tell with sex toys to ripping off clothes in front of boys, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the most embarrassing things our parents did. I'm Doopy, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 9 was submitted by DamnFurry13. When Honeybits was in elementary school, there was a weird kid that was in love with her. He would tell everyone that she was his girlfriend and that she was pregnant with his baby, all of which was a lie. Despite asking the kid to stop, he kept stalking her and telling lies. 3 years later, when she was in the 7th grade, Honeybits didn't see the kid anymore and was happy. That was until she went grocery shopping with her mom one day. When she saw the kid, her mom asked if that was her stalker. Honeybits said that he was, and her mom ran up to him and his mom and started talking to them. She walked closer to them and heard her mom say, "My daughter does miss your son a lot." Honeybits felt like throwing up. Then, when the kid stepped closer to Honeybits, her mom pushed her closer to him, and he kissed her. And if that wasn't bad enough, her mom also gave the kid Honeybits' phone number and social media info. Number 8 was submitted by Zach the Great. When he was in 6th grade, Mikhailum's parents wanted him to get off his PS4, but he wouldn't listen. So, the next day at school, Mikhailum was at lunch playing with his friends when his parents walked in. His dad was wearing his underwear over his pants, while his mom wore a zebra costume. All his friends laughed and teased him about it. Now that he's older, Mikhailum still thinks that it was the most embarrassing thing that his parents ever did to him. Number 7 was submitted by Nemian007. One time when he was 14, Dolan and his family went on a vacation. He was playing a game called What Are the Odds with his brother Zaraganba. Their dad overheard them and wanted to play, so Dolan explained the game to him. Then Zaraganba asked their dad,
What are the odds you publicly humiliate yourself?
Well, their dad ended up losing the game, meaning he had to humiliate himself in public. Later, they were all standing in a huge crowd of people in the middle of a city, and their dad went up to a woman who was walking with her friend. He stood right in front of them and screamed as if he was in agony. He dropped to his knees and yelled, "Why would you leave me?" He then proceeded to cry. Everyone around them stared at the scene, including Dolan and Zaraganba. The woman started to cry as well and leaned on her friend. Her friend angrily slapped their dad across the face and yelled, "Her husband just died, you sick fuck!" Their dad was absolutely mortified, and everyone around them looked at him as though they wanted to punch him. Since he wasn't good with stress, their dad fainted on the sidewalk. Dolan and Zaraganba carried him to a nearby restaurant while apologizing to everyone. Number 6 was submitted by Hellbent NR1 fan. Ramona was into some kinky stuff when she was 18. She had a lot of sex toys that she hid from her family. One day, while she was at work, her dad came into her room to clean. He ended up finding some of her kinky stuff and sent her a text with a picture of her gag ball and many condoms. He asked in the text, "Are these yours?" She was shocked. And at their big family dinner, he had her gag ball in his hand and said, "Look what I found in my daughter's room the other day. Now I know what she and her boyfriend are doing at night." Ramona was so embarrassed that she threw out all of her sex toys. Number 5 was submitted by Egodram. Egodram? Andy was 12 when her mother took her to the mall one day to shop for clothes. They looked in the more high-end stores, but Andy didn't really see anything that she liked. However, her mom had a handful of hideous-looking clothes that she wanted her to try on. So Andy went to the fitting rooms, which were built into the walls with nothing but a fancy curtain between the entire world and the changing customer. Just after she had taken off everything but her underwear, someone flung the curtain open. Andy fucking screamed like a dying animal, not sure who it was. It turned out to be her mother with more hideous-looking clothes that she wanted her to try on. The entire store saw Andy in nothing but her underwear, and her mother actually got mad at her for screaming. Number 4 was submitted by Saffishly. One time, Pandora and her family had a table at a fair next to a carpenter. He was a cowboy who Pandora thought was really cute. The guy made giant picnic tables out of wood that could fit about 30 or 40 people. She kept checking him out throughout the day. Then he went to their table to see what they had for sale. He said hello to Pandora, but before she could respond, her dad immediately jumped in and said, "My daughter would like to inquire about your giant wood, sir." The guy just laughed it off, but Pandora was mortified. Number 3 was submitted by Squeaky Attack. One year, Salty Squid, his sister, and their parents met at a restaurant for Thanksgiving. Their dad, who didn't have a filter, was already upset with the couple who had cut in front of the line to meet up with their party. Minutes later, 2 more people cut in front of the line to join that same party. That was when their dad decided to tell them off. Salty Squid watched as his dad confronted them, making one woman from the party burst into tears about her holiday being ruined, as well as the fact that she had just had back surgery and that her aunt had passed away. It prompted Salty Squid's mom to pull down the collar of her blouse and reveal not only a surgical scar on her chest, but also her bra. His dad went on to say the woman was being a drama queen, prompting the woman to scream, "I'm actually a really nice person!" Then the woman's husband balled his fist and tried to take a swing at Salty Squid's dad, but was pulled away by the restaurant's manager. Salty Squid and his family ended up eating at the shitty restaurant with everyone staring at them and whispering, all because his stubborn dad refused to leave despite having created a scene. Number 2 was submitted by Kill Me Now 676. For her 13th birthday, Snoopy went to New York City with her family and a few friends. They were walking down Broadway when they saw a man in an Elmo costume. Snoopy used to love Elmo, although now that she's older, she's a little afraid of him. Her parents said, "Aw, look, it's your boyfriend, Elmo." Snoopy was confused until her mom said, "Aw, Pudding Pie, remember when you would make out with Elmo in your room?" Her dad said, "Ha, I remember that. Little you, just smooching Elmo." Then her mom said, "We have pictures." So her mom took out the camera and showed all the pictures of Snoopy making out with an Elmo doll to her friends. Now, whenever they all see an Elmo doll, her friends say, "Look, it's your boyfriend." Number 1 was submitted by A Grim Fate. Spincess once wore pajamas that were too small for her, but she still loved them. Well, her mom didn't care for them and told her to take them off. She said, "No, I'm going to bed. What does it matter what I wear to bed?" It mattered to her mom, who went to grab her, but she ran away. Her mom finally caught her in the hall and ripped the top, leaving Spincess topless. She heard some gasps and someone say, "So that's what boobs look like." Her mom just tore off her top during one of Spincess's brother's sleepover parties. She realized that at that moment, 6 9-year-olds saw her boobs. She covered her chest and yelled, "Mom, why are you ripping off my pajamas?" Her mom said, "If you just changed your pajamas, you wouldn't be embarrassed now." Spincess stormed off to her room, changed her pajamas, and didn't come out of her room until all her brother's friends left the next day. Huge thanks for the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the dumbest lie you tried to get away with? Let us know in the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys! Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.